It's been a while since I made a Sims news video, so I've got quite a few things to catch you up to speed on. Number one, I think we've got to talk about the wedding pack. So as you probably heard, the wedding pack was a complete disaster when it released a couple weeks ago. It doesn't work. It's super buggy. Honestly, it's super hard to have weddings function. And they finally addressed that the other day. They posted this tweet that says, Sul Simmers, we've got a laundry list full of love and fixes. Check out the latest list for my wedding stories that we aim to resolve in an upcoming patch. So when they say laundry list, they post these kind of often, and it's like a list of the bugs that are their priority for fixing right now. It's not like a release date. It's not like a confirmed fix. It's just them being like, hey, we see like these major problems and this is our top priority to fix. So it takes you to this link, and on the article it says they're aiming to issue an upcoming patch that prioritizes the below and more. And then they also say at the bottom that we're gonna have 2 patches coming and one is gonna come before this patch. So they're kind of trying to like casually warn you like, hey, we know this is the problem, but we've got a different patch coming first. I've got thoughts on that. I'll explain in a second. But this wedding patch, they're working on an update to the please take seats interaction, because currently when you do that, it like blocks you from doing anything else. They're gonna adjust how your Sims walk down the aisle. You'll be able to invite Sims from both sides of the wedding, regardless of who you know. So for example, if I wanted to marry Bob Pancakes, I could invite my friends and his friends, even if I was the one planning the wedding, because right now you can only invite like your Sims, like people that you know, but not who the other Sim knows. It's stupid, but they're gonna fix that. Guests will arrive in their proper clothing instead of their everyday wear. You'll be able to actually select the guest attire in the wedding menu. They're gonna improve how Sims gather for dessert time and gather for the cake. They're gonna make the cakes not spoil as fast. Apparently cake tops were floating. They're gonna fix that. They're gonna fix how the cake model looks after you cut it. They didn't mention fixing how you cut it, because right now it never works when I try and cut it, so we'll see. They're gonna adjust the passionate kiss animation, because right now when your Sims do that animation, they like don't touch faces. They like turn, but their faces are like this far apart. It's bizarre. They're gonna fix that. Apparently the San Myshuno Park wasn't showing up in the list of wedding venues, so that's gonna be there. And they're gonna improve paired dancing. This is a long list that covers a lot of bugs, but it's not all of them. They kind of imply that there's going to be other bugs fixed in it too, but I assume not any huge ones. Like for example, they didn't acknowledge the officiant thing. Right now, officiants like literally don't work. I've never ever had a wedding work with an officiant this whole time, and I've done like 15 weddings and I've not had a single officiant work. That's not even listed on here. That's not to say they don't know about it. They definitely know about it. They probably knew about it before the pack even came out, and they just didn't have like the time or resources to be fixing it. Like the team was probably told like, you have to put the pack out tomorrow, sorry. And they were like, oh, it doesn't work. Too bad, I guess. So it's not like the team's fault this happened. I would blame the higher ups for not giving them the proper resources to fix it. But anyway, they probably know about all the other bugs. They're just not like the top priority to fix right now. They will be fixed, I hope, eventually. They're just not actually listed here yet. And so when they say you can expect 2 patches in the coming weeks and one that will come ahead of this patch, what does that mean? I won't lie, this list of updates makes me feel a little bit nervous. I really wish that there was more transparency on like when the update will actually come out. I understand they're probably just still working on it, so they don't have a date for it yet, but it's so weird how there's like no time frame at all. Like obviously I'm assuming and kind of hoping it'll be in March, but like what if it's not until April? There's just no clarification at all about the timeline. And even then, like a lot of the bugs that I was encountering just aren't listed on here. I think the clothing ones are probably some of the most annoying, so like I'm glad to see those fixed. And also like number one and probably most important is the guest sitting, because they just sit and don't do anything else. So I'm glad they're working on tuning that. That's gonna make a huge difference. I don't know, this whole wedding pack just stresses me out. Like the whole thing has been a disaster. So I guess I'm looking forward to the patch, but also I'm not looking forward to it because I don't really want to think about it anymore. At this point, honestly, like I'd rather just never have a wedding again. I know this feeling will pass, but like right now, they have ruined weddings for me. I simply do not want my Sims to get married. I want nothing to do with it. You might recall that back in January, they posted this Sim thing to celebrate like season of The Sims with like teasers for all the things that were gonna come in the next 3 months. They post these like quarterly teasers, right? So this one covered from January to March. And on it, they announced a game pack that throws a party for love. We got that. 2 vibrant kits that celebrate fierce design. Well, we've got one of them. We don't have the second one yet. The gift of unique community collaborations in-game and out. We've got a few different community collaborations. They work with Complex Sims to add a do-rag bonnet and a new robe into the game. They just announced today another collab I'll tell you about in a second. We got a bunch of free global food in different updates. So pretty much the only thing left here is that kit. We know it's coming because they already told us, and this page covers January, February, and March. So it's like basically confirmed there's gonna be another kit this month. We We don't really know what that kit is actually going to be. They haven't really covered it. We know it's going to celebrate fierce design, and we got like the Carnival kit that kind of covered cast, so maybe it'll be a build kit, I'm not sure, but we can probably expect that somewhat soon. So I wouldn't be surprised if when they talk about the patch having like a different patch first, to me that kind of tells me, okay, maybe the pack will come out first, there's gonna be a kit, and so they have to patch the game like to prep for the kit, and then after that the wedding patch will come out. So I'm kind of like crossing my fingers that maybe like by the end of the month we'll have the wedding patch, and then in the next like week or two we'll have the kit. Full transparency, I don't know a thing about that. I'm just like going off of what we have and like kind of trying to guesstimate based on past release schedules and stuff, but I wouldn't be surprised if they gave us a kit soon. To be honest with you, I was kind of wondering if a kit would get announced today, but they didn't. They did announce something today though. They posted this tweet. It says, "It's International Women's Day and we're spotlighting 4 amazing tattoo artists who are bringing quite possibly the oldest, purest, and definitely the most permanent form of self-expression to the Sims 4 base game in a Sims Delivery Express this month." So we're gonna get a new base game update, this one featuring a bunch of tattoos. They have these little mini highlights about each of the tattoo artists they collabed with. I will link this thread, and also I'll link like the article they posted down below for you to read if you want to see the whole thing. I think this is a fantastic idea. We really badly need more tattoos in The Sims 4, and I love that they're collabing with like real life tattoo artists. One, because it gives us like actual really high quality designs. Not that like the Sims team can't draw cool things too, but like it's pretty fun to work with a real life tattoo artist for this. And 2, it's a great way to highlight these artists. I think this is great. So these are actually all 4 of the tattoos we're going to be getting. At the bottom of the article it says the 4 Create a Sim tattoos will be available later in March. So they didn't give a date, it just says like later this month, and we can see all 4 of them kind of up close here. Again, I will link this article down below if you want to read the whole thing and like hear about the artists and also like get a closer look at the tattoos. I'm really excited about these. I think this is a great idea. I'm gonna follow all these artists right now and look into them because I'm really excited about this. The Sims has been doing a lot more of this recently, like collabing with different artists and like industry professionals and highlighting them and talking about them in their blog posts and like the inspiration behind what they're adding. And this is really cool. Like it's a really fun way to give more free content to players. And I just love like hearing the backstories behind the designs and the people who made them. This makes me very happy. That's pretty much all of the new news for now though. Obviously I'll tell you as soon as we've got any more information. I'm pretty curious too because now that March is kind of coming to a close, they've sort of told us like all the things that are coming in March. I mean, they've not like actually announced them, but it's kind of implied we're gonna get at least 1 free content drop with the SDX with the tattoos. Almost definitely some sort of kit that's fierce, whatever that means. And then hopefully 2 patches, like the pre-kit patch and then the wedding patch. I'm really hoping like sooner rather than later for the wedding patch because the pack is really bad right now. And then by extension, I'm kind of like really hoping for the kit because it seems to me like the kit's gonna come out before the wedding patch just because of like how they announced that patch order on that like laundry list. I don't know. It's all very weird and confusing and I'm kind of just guesstimating a lot, so I'm just trying to keep you in the loop. I'm wondering if they might announce a kit tomorrow now because didn't they announce the last couple on Wednesdays? They've like always historically announced things on Tuesdays, but they've done a couple Wednesday announcements recently, so I guess maybe stay tuned just in case. Anyway, I'll stop just rambling on and on here for you. Like I said, I'm gonna link that article about the tattoos down below, and I'll also link that laundry list down below if you want to see it. And hey, if you like Sims news and you like hearing about the game, feel free to subscribe. I don't like only make Sims news videos, I play The Sims mostly, but when there's big updates, I always make a video to tell you about them. So if you click that little sub button, you won't miss them. See? It's a win-win for both of us. I get subs and you get news. I'm sorry, that's dumb. Anyway, with that being said, I'll catch you all tomorrow. Bye everybody. That was dumb. That was a really dumb plug for subs. I apologize for that one. I won't do it again. I'm so sorry.